My name is Jamie Bergstein. I work in the admissions department here at the Kennedy School. This is for Commissioner Davis. It's not a question. I just, sorry. I just wanted to thank you. Um, I knew the format of how the forms worked, and I knew I wanted to say something. I didn't really know what, and halfway through, I leaned over to my friend who went to the event with me, and I said, I really want to thank Ed Davis for what he's done. And she said, you should totally do it. I didn't expect it to be as big or as emotional as it was, but I went up and I waited and I was waiting. I waited a really long time and I kept thinking, I'm just going to sit down. They're not going to call me. And then Dean Elwood pointed to me and said, okay, you're the last question. And I thought, oh, great, we're going to end on this. And then Juliet Kayam saw I was wearing the jacket, and at that point I had finally calmed down, but then I said yes, and everyone started clapping, and then I got very emotional, but I knew I just had to thank you for everything that you and your force did.
Well, it meant a lot. You know, it was a big deal, and it's funny how these things, when you go through something like this, you don't really have a grasp on how it's going to hit you emotionally. You know, you start talking about something, and all of a sudden, a flood of emotions will hit you. But there was a lot of hugging that went on that week, and I just when you were talking and it had bothered you so much, I just thought that was the right thing to do, to just sort of, you know, console you a little bit and try to let you know it was all right.
My experience last year, it started like any other day. I woke up actually feeling great, and I was super excited. I was well rested.
It was a perfect day for running too. It was cool.
Day.
Yeah.
The weather was perfect. My teammates and I drove out there. Someone dropped us off, and I was excited. I felt good. I didn't feel nervous, and we started running, and I felt awesome. The crowd from the energy from the crowd was amazing, and I was giving high fives and people were cheering my name, and it carried me through. I had a great time. I was doing great with my time. I was going to come in under my goal that I had, and I think I was in Brighton. I think I had just passed the hills when I just started getting all of these text messages and phone calls. I was wearing an arm brace with my phone in it, and I just felt these vibrations, and it's funny to think about now, but I just kept thinking, I'm running a marathon. These people have to know I'm running a marathon. Why are they calling me? And one of my friends texted me, who was with my mom, and she just said, we're okay. And I thought, okay, I'm okay too. And then my other friend texted me saying, where are you? And I said, I'm in Brighton. I only have 5 miles to go. And she said, turn around. Something's happened at the finish line. And I honestly, I thought it was a joke. I didn't know what was happening. And she said, there are bombs at the finish line. Don't go there. But all I thought is, my mom's there. My friend's there. I live near there. I have to get
go
there.
Right.
So I just kept running. I didn't know what else to do.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, just police cars and fire trucks zoomed by, and they were pushing us to the side of the road. And we still thought that we could finish. At that time, we had heard that they were diverting the finish line to Com Ave or somewhere else. So we just kept running. No one else really knew what to do. And then I got to near mile 24 on Beacon, and they just stopped us. There was just nowhere else to go at that point. So it turned from one of the most exciting and best days of my life to, as I said last year, the scariest day of my life.
Right, one of the worst. It's we do have a secondary road that in case something were to happen at the marathon finish, that we could divert people to Column Ave, and there was a finish line set up there that would have been exactly the same distance.
Mm-hmm.
But things were in such disarray, and there was no we had no idea what other things were going to happen, that the best thing that we could do was just to stop the whole thing. So a lot of people like you got stuck in Kenmore Square, just outside of Kenmore Square. There were thousands of people in different locations that ended up not being able to find their families. They've been, they were dispersed throughout the whole Back Bay area. It was very confusing.
Yeah. Why am I running? Because I have to. There's no other choice.
Right.
I have to finish the marathon. I have to finish for the people who couldn't finish, and the people who won't be here. For all my friends and family who have supported me over the past year. So.
Well, it's a very strong thing you're doing. Very courageous.
Yeah. There's no other option. So.
Well, when something like this happens, it's really important to review everything to make sure that you're catching the things that could be improved. And I think the Harvard report was very well taken. They did a great job in pointing out some things that we need to work on. But I don't think it should take away from the great work of the men and women who were out there in the middle of all this. They did an incredible job, and I'm completely supportive of them. It's really important that we learn lessons, but it's also important to recognize what they did to put the city back together again. Should we stand up and hug again? I'm going to hug you.
One more hug.
That's right.
For good luck.
Thank you. You take care of yourself, kid.
Thank
I'm really
you.
proud
I will.
of you, really, seriously.
Thank you so much.
All right. I
Thank
wish you
you.
the best.